Welcome to my nightmare.
What's up, boys and ghouls? Welcome back to another episode of Cinematic Nightmares. I am your host, Mika G, and tonight we are going to get into the chaos of M3GAN 2.0. So if you haven't seen this one, please understand this is your warning. This is going to be full of spoilers. And on this episode, I'm honestly not alone. I have with me a guest who doesn't just react to horror, he also creates it. He's a writer, director, an actor, and he's one of the voices from That's the Effing Trailer. Please welcome to Cinematic Nightmares, Mr. Royal.
Thank you, Mika G, for having me on Cinematic Nightmares. First and foremost, love your background. Number two, I want to say I love what you're doing with your channels. You know, in the podcast world, as they say, you don't give people their flowers at the end of the episode because people usually forget. So I just want to give you your flowers and say, love what you're doing, love the content, keep it up, and I am a fan of the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So we both have seen M3GAN 2.0. And we have our thoughts about it. So we are going to get into all of that right now. So before we do dive in, let's shout out the team behind this one. So M3GAN 2.0 was directed by Gerard Johnstone, who also directed the first film. The screenplay was written by Akilah Cooper, shout out to the Black woman, and story credit is also given to James Wan. So same team, bigger scope, and this time the tech nightmare goes global. So here's the setup. It's been 2 years since the first movie. Gemma and Katie are trying to move on, but the world hasn't forgotten what M3GAN was. The government has their own version now, a new android called Amelia. Meanwhile, something else is stirring back to life. New threats, old ghosts, and a very complicated reunion bring them all back into the crosshairs of a larger, more dangerous agenda. And that's your spoiler-free setup. But from here, we're getting into the chaos. So what was your initial reaction to watching M3GAN 2.0, Royal?
Initial reaction was shout out for going there, because the first film, again, we weren't expecting it, and there's been so many copycats of that type of film since then, but it was the first film in my mind was based more on horror, and it was almost like if Chucky was a girl and he was a teenage girl that had a best friend. So I was like, okay, I was expecting to see the same thing. And you take a chance when you do a sequel to alienate your original horror audience if you go any other direction than what you had before. So for me, in my opinion, this one was more so on the sci-fi AI side of things. And I love that because now I feel like we have even if they never do another one, we have a complete story. We have the origin story of, hey, this is what happened when AI comes into your home. And then we have the more global story of, hey, this thing can go Skynet at any minute. So yeah, I had stopped someone from going there. So my initial thoughts were the storyline was great, in my opinion. Acting, a little campy here and there, but I can get away with that. That's fine. Action right off the bat, yeah, I'll get into that later. But yeah, overall, I say it's a great watch, and I'd watch it again. I wouldn't go back to the movies to see it again, but I will watch it again when it comes back on.
Okay, totally agree. It was a great, for me, it was a great first time watch. And originally when I saw the trailer, like many eons ago, it wasn't that long ago. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh man, we're getting Terminator 2.
That's a good thing, Mika.
No, Terminator 2 is a classic. Like M3GAN 2.0 is nothing.
Oh, it's not a classic. Oh, you thought we were going to get the classic. I get what you're saying. Yes.
Okay, but even with the whole switch from, because whether people know it or not, Terminator, the original Terminator movie, is a horror movie.
Correct. Correct.
You know,
Slasher, if you will, you almost.
right. You have an unstoppable killer, going after someone, very much Jason Voorhees, very much Michael Myers, realm. And then Terminator 2 went action on us. And we were expecting the same thing that we got from the first Terminator. Right. And then we got Terminator 2.
Because the trailer did do that, though. The trailer did make you think it was staying in the same genre as the first one.
Right. And then because they made Amelia, and we will get into this as well too, they made Amelia seem like she was the bad guy in this.
Correct.
And and that's why I said it gave Terminator 2 vibes.
But that was a good plot twist. I know we'll get into that. Like, you found out she wasn't technically the bad guy. It's like, okay.
Right. So let's talk about Amelia. Amelia is the government's, new
She's Android Salt. She's Angelilian Salt, but she's an android.
Literally. Our first scene of Amelia is she has infiltrated a compound, but she comes under the guise of being a human. And she is executed, air quotes. She's executed, but we soon find out that she has not been executed and she's a whole robot. But it goes left. She was assigned to go and pick up this person, and she ended up killing him.
Correct. And they lead us to assume that she has went rogue and she has her own agendas, which is not true. She didn't go rogue. Someone did have an agenda, though.
Right. So we are under the impression that she has gone rogue, and that she now is like, nope, I have new orders, my orders, because I want to be free. And we're like, okay, you want to be free. So so what was your thoughts about Amelia when you first saw her?
First and foremost, I'll say this, shout out to the design team and whoever, and I know it's multiple people that put this together, but the way they can seamlessly, and I think they even did a better job with Amelia than they did with M3GAN, the way they can seamlessly, you almost get lost in whether this is an android or is this a human being. That was amazing, like completely amazing. And you can also tell that, just like with any AI, and it's crazy the name's Amelia and has AI in it. I'll get started early. But for me, the way they designed her, and again, it was a mindset of, you can clearly see, because they said it throughout the film, that she was based off of M3GAN's original code. So, and just like with any other rogue AI, or when rogue nations get a hold of AI, they'll use that and make their own little tweaks, which clearly these people did do. So the actress that played Amelia and the actual android version of her, I loved it. Like, you couldn't tell me that she did a bad job. And then finally, for her to be able to, if you could call it, be free towards the end, I just felt like I never found myself saying, dang, she's not acting like a robot, or dang, she's not showing human emotion. Like, it was pristine. If AI ever got copying humans right, Amelia was it. I mean, she was there. Listen, she had grown men getting atomically correct off of mechanical parts. I mean, I guess they got sex dolls nowadays. Sorry, I said I wasn't gonna go left on you tonight, but my whole point is she was arousing men and walking by people. They weren't even second guessing her. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't know if you have this on the list for tonight, but please make sure we do hit it. Like, I love the, I've never been to one, so now I got to go to one. What was it, like RoboCon? Like the whole,
yes.
Like, I love that. That was dope. That was dope.
Yeah. So I love the fact that Amelia was a lot colder than M3GAN was. You know, like in the first M3GAN movie, we knew that she was supposed to be a doll that was supposed to be for a child. Right. And when we get Amelia's cold. She doesn't joke. She just, she's about her business. Like, right. even the whenever her and M3GAN were, communicating with each other, she was basically like, I ain't here for the jokes. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Right. I got a mission. You blocking me, and I'm about to take you out.
I think cold is the right word, because you clearly, and that's again second version of AIs, I think they purposely took the personality out of her because I think, especially in the second one, I know we're talking about Amelia, but in de facto, by talking about M3GAN, you can clearly see the differences in personality versus no personality. Like, I think, I'm not going to lie to you, M3GAN got so close to making me believe that she was almost there to being almost human, almost like Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2 when he was learning the hasta la vista, baby. Like, you saw like her trying to understand it. You know, it's a perfect line. When I hate doing this to you, but when what you call it, name please, Katie. When Katie, it was either Katie or Katie's mom, I believe it actually was, like, matter of fact, it was Katie's mom. She was like about her being real, and she was like, well, describe real. I mean, because you feel things, I feel that. Like, it was like they made it was a semantic thing to say, wait a minute, your boy Morpheus, what do you mean real? By stuff you can touch, feel, smell? We're simply talking about sensors now. So, am I wrong?
This is true. This is true.
So yeah, she was cold. Yeah, Amelia was cold.
I while I did love Amelia, it was the little hints of M3GAN being back around them. You know, there were
love the family, love it.
Love that, you know, they kept making the joke about how could Gemma afford that smart house.
Correct.
So
but we know, and when we found out how, it was like, how could you not know? Gemma?
Right.
How could you not know? And you brought up the house, and like, again, they did drive that point home several times or whatnot. But my point is this: I mean, I don't understand why why she couldn't afford it, because number one, it wasn't like she was dumb before that. She was working in the robotics field. She was pretty much top of her line, so clearly there had to be some money somewhere. And then there's always a good WP, white privilege, and then there's a lot of things there. What do you want from here? I mean, I'm throwing it out there. But no, seriously. So when I like the fact that right from the beginning of the movie, like, and again, M3GAN comes back and says, she's like, I've always been here. And then we found out later on in the movie, not only did she get the house for them, she freaking stockpiled it, like from Terminator Genesis. She had already been stockpiling stuff for them, waiting on this day. And she had hit them with the, like, hey, I'm not really saying y'all are prisoners, but I can't really help y'all out there, but I know I can protect y'all in here. So it really started to grow on me, this family dynamic. I think it really hit hard. And then M3GAN says it, I'm saying this now because I don't want to forget it later. M3GAN says, what do you expect? First off, you created me, and number two, I was like in year 1 or year 2 of infancy, I was still learning. So she was like, I basically said I threw a temper tantrum. So what do you want from me? But she learned from that and clearly evolved. And she knew that because of what she did in the first film, she couldn't just come back and be like, hey guys, guess who's back? So she slowly started, and she only revealed herself when they were in danger.
That's correct.
So that way she was trying to win back their trust bit by bit.
Correct. And I mean, the way that the first movie ended, we knew that M3GAN was inside of Gemma's, I forgot what she called her little machine. So we knew, but you know, when I started watching M3GAN 2.0, I was like, I wonder if M3GAN is still inside of that little machine. And then we started getting the subtle hints. Like, she was like, she told the machine she's like, it's not like it can open a drawer, and then the drawer opened. Boom. And then when the FBI, listen, first of all, I want to talk about this scene. Why did the FBI break into their house in SWAT gear?
Makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know if it was a rewrite of the draft or whatnot. Like, where do you think she's going? All you had to do was first come during the normal time of the day, knock at the door. But the reason, what they tried to tell her was, oh, you had to be a part of this, so we knew we had to come in guns a-blazing. Like, you don't go guns a-blazing for somebody who's a techie. Right. They're not going to shoot it out with you. And then who is it? That couldn't have been the CIA. These were run-em-all cops or whatnot. They're in there. They're getting messed up by Kevin McAllister 2.0, you know, artificial parade, like the house is just doing all these things. And I'm just like, this is not very intimidating. I have no faith in our government. Never did, but I really don't.
They was flipping up on ice cubes. I was like,
yeah, I'm like, who gave you a gun? Who gave you a gun to be with you?
The man that fell on the stairs and broke his whole neck, I was like, oh, he dead. He's dead.
But was he dead?
He didn't die.
You see my point? You see my point. Like, and here's the thing. I feel like M3GAN would have knew why they were coming, but I think M3GAN also could have, like I say, stopped them from even getting there. But I think she took that as an opportunity. As Megan always takes these opportunities. So if she let them break in, it plants the seed in Jenna and her daughter Katie that I've always been here protecting you. And look what I just stopped. And by the way, hey, I'm back. I never left. And remember now, there's a line she says that in the movie. I'm not going to say it now, but clearly she's very good at control C and control V. She's good at copying herself and preparing for. And see, that's what the difference between her and Amelia, because Amelia hadn't been able to control copying herself, if you will. But see, I love that at the end, the little thumbnail turning like, I'm like, hey,
that was so cute. I loved it. But the reason why Amelia couldn't do what Megan did is because Megan had a whole movie to figure out how to replicate herself.
Mm-hmm.
Amelia,
100%, yes.
Right. Amelia had a mission, and she was given that mission by someone else. And so when she finally could think for herself, you know what I'm saying? Why she wanted to upload herself with a copy machine is beyond me.
Yeah, that was
had to be a copy machine. When did the copy machine go rogue?
You've never seen Office Space?
I mean, I have seen Office Space, but I'm just saying,
when they take the copy machine, PC low there. What the fuck does that mean? But what I agree with you though, because it's the fact that when Amelia, now remind you again, they didn't start off with Megan with training wheels. Like she was born and she was AI. She was free. You have this female here, Amelia, who's been, I don't know how long they've had her, but at least like 2 years, and she's always been in control. But you can, in her mind, and they get into this later, and I know you're going to bring it up, she only can imagine what it's like to be free. And they say, hey, listen, imagine having AI around for so many years and not being able to get out. What do you think's going to happen?
Right. And I think when she got reprogrammed, because in the end, Amelia got reprogrammed. And when she got reprogrammed, it triggered something inside of her to where now she's like, I'm free. I want to be free. And the only way I know how to be free is to go and find this, this copy machine that went rogue.
Right. And you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about that, because again, I know we're going to get into it, but I want to see if you caught this real quick. Tell me remember, because now I'm not going to lie, I was watching it and I was paying full attention, but see, there's sometimes someone will say something in the movie. I'm like, I didn't see that coming. Wait a goddamn minute. Where we going with this? And that moment was they're explaining everything and they're like, she's like, so what are you saying? She's like, Megan wasn't the first killer robot. It happened in '84, and I'm like, wait a minute, I was 1 year old. I was getting on the scene. I kind of knew what was going on.
I might have been around when that happened.
Correct. Yes, but who knows? You're still 35 as far as I'm concerned. So let me ask you this: did that original AI, that bot that they showed, did it remind you of anything, or was it similar to anything you've seen? Not the copier. They had put it in something else before, and they showed that. Like,
what's the name of the movie? Oh my God. Was it Short Circuit?
It is Short Circuit.
Short Circuit.
Johnny Five.
Yes, Johnny Five.
I was like, I know they couldn't put a Johnny Five in there, but I'm like, they're doing it. They're tying my childhood into my adulthood. I was like, I wanted that to be true. I'm like, he was, because remember, they did make all those evil Johnny 1 and 2. Like, I'm like, Short Circuit, baby. Hey!
Yes. Okay. So that's right. I mean, if we want to be real, this movie was a callback to Short Circuit and he was a killer robot. Well, something happened and then he
became a killer robot.
He became a killer robot, but it also was a callback to a Deadly Friend as well too. If y'all never seen that movie, it's a movie about this dude that puts a computer chip in his best friend's head and she becomes a robot. Basically, she becomes Amelia.
You see what I'm saying? And again, I just thought they did such a good story. Like, again, I don't know who idea that was, but that was a great callback to it. They didn't even have to say Short Circuit, but you saw the robots really quick, and I was just like, okay, now they're putting some thought process into it. But it did make me think of something, because now we're going from film into science, and as you know, they always say energy is never destroyed, it's simply transferred. So when you're creating like that first version of AI, they couldn't destroy it, so they had to contain it or whatnot. And I just kind of feel like, y'all contained it, y'all sent us in this black box site, but I'm like, it's like been 50, 60 years, so much technology. Like, I don't believe Bluetooth was around back then. I thought it could have got out. To your point, I think they really just didn't want to give it a face, but they could have did better than the copy machine from Kinko's. Like it's like she's in there up like
Not Kinko's.
shout out. Hey, give us a shout out, Kinko's. Hey,
wasn't a Xerox copy machine.
It was weird science to me. Now, but you brought up to something that I don't think most people will catch, because I thought they rushed it really quick, but it did happen. It was when Amelia got, I won't say free, she was unlocked, but when she got unlocked, she still wasn't going to go do what she did. The guy from the first one, who was very scared of M3GAN to this day, he had to reprogram her with M3GAN's original source code. So she was technically M3GAN for like 45 seconds, and that was enough for her whenever they blew that part of her off to go look for something like herself.
Right. And that part of the movie when Katie paired herself with Amelia, because she still
that was dope. That was dope.
She still had M3GAN code inside of her. So she was like, all I have to do is pair myself with her. And so, correct. And for like you said, for a short hot second, she was M3GAN.
Yes, in that Amelia's other body.
Yes.
And I thought that was dope. But you brought up something that I didn't forget, but I probably wasn't going to bring it up unless you mentioned it. It was definitely when they paired, when Gemma and Amelia and M3GAN paired, it was crazy about it is I love the scene where she was like, M3GAN, she was like, you don't have to talk, just think it and I'll know what you're saying. I was like, oh yeah. Now again, it's like they did their research on the AI, and I really just think that shouldn't be thrown away, and people really need to understand what it's saying, whether it's Terminator, whether it's the Matrix. All these films come out and the core theme is the same when it comes to the AI. It's going to want to learn, it's going to want to evolve, and it always simply seems to find out that humans are our worst enemies. And I love that they played on that trope, but it's even different now because we are in the future. It is 2025 and we see literally AI. It's almost like AI could have wrote this movie here, and I'm like, people are dumb. I mean, I really do believe that, because we're building I'm not saying AI can't be helpful in a iRobot Will Smith kind of way, but right. You see what happens. Eventually, they want to know whether they want to be in control. And let's be honest, humans don't have to be in control all the time. We don't know what we're doing half the time, but I think that was very brilliant of them to put that in there. It's almost a reminder of art imitating life. Yes.
And I mean, with the way Hollywood is going now, we are being oversaturated with AI robots, killer robots, and you know, M3GAN, and not say M3GAN took the charge for this generation of AI robots killing them, because our generation was Terminator. You know, M3GAN took the lead for this generation of AI robots. So now you have movies like Companion, you have movies like what's the Megan Fox movie? I can't think of it right now, but you have the Megan Fox movie and both of those AI robots look like humans.
Human being. I did like Companion. I know we're not here to discuss it, but it's really like, and you know what I think is going to happen? You saw I wasn't a fan completely of the last Matrix, but in the last Matrix, I still think that what happened at the end there, where they were talking about eventually robots start turning on each other. Yes. Like, it really shows you like a program still has a mission. And so do they have a soul? We're a ghost in the machine. We don't know.
Right. I mean, if we're going to talk, I mean, all the Terminator movies ended up being a robot versus a robot. Except for the first one.
There you go. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. I agree with you. So it still goes to show, but where do they get that from? Man versus man, humans versus humans. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's gonna happen.
I hope we're gone.
I mean, when we're gone, who are the robots gonna take care
of? Good question. Purgatory.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you one thing I did not like. Now again, I'm not nitpicking here.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, now it wasn't a lot not to like. Don't get me wrong. I thought the pacing was really good in this film. I thought they kept us on the edge of our seats. I never found myself bored or lacking or anything. But it became cool, and then it wasn't. They should have left the exoskeleton alone when it was trying to choke old girl in the house. Like, that exoskeleton by itself, I thought that was dope. But then when Jenna put it on, I'm like, I don't need you to be hurt. I don't need it.
I didn't like that part either. I didn't like Gemma putting on the exoskeleton and then all of a sudden she was a ninja, you know?
It's almost like she was in her contract that goes like, I'll come back and I'll do it, but I want to kick some ass this time. No, you're not a writer. Just do
You're a
the
techie. You're a techie, damn it.
right. If she is a techie, like, don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, bring back the black girl and let her wear it because she almost got choked to death by it 30 minutes early in the movie. Just throwing it out there.
The funniest part about it is in the middle of the scene, she gets knocked out. So it's just hair over her face. And so it's the
I love that
double.
part. I love that part.
She's knocked out during that point.
But that's when M3GAN takes over.
Yes.
That's when M3GAN takes, and I love that part. It's almost like when Spider-Man gets knocked out or Doctor Strange freezes him in the movie, and then he's like his body, his spider sense is still like, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I love that she took over, and my daughter was in there with me when we were watching this movie, and she didn't see it, and that's why I always tell people this. They're like, why are you so intense when you're watching the movie? Why don't you want to go to the bathroom? I'm like, dude, even if you blink, you can miss a crucial plot point to something that happens. When they showed that little thing, that nanotech thing that connected to her head, and M3GAN out of nowhere just went ape shit on Jenna, I said she's gonna get that chip, and they didn't show it right away. My daughter's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, give it a few minutes. She was like, how'd you know? Because I don't blink, god damn it.
Right. I honestly, I saw that too. I was like, she's about to go get that chip.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. It wasn't just me, and again, that's why I said really a sign of a really good movie is when you can have somebody you're rooting against in one film, and then if they get on your side, it's cool. But when they fucked up M3GAN's jaw like that, I was like, man, y'all ain't have to do the baby like that.
Hey, when I tell you they messed up M3GAN's whole face, I was like, why are we doing? What are we doing?
Why? Right, like that's female robot battery. Why would you do that? I'm not mad at it. I'm saying I was mad in the film, and I'm just like, I knew she was going to come back. But they bet not make her Amelia for the rest of the movie. They better let her get back in her body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was dope, man. I'm not dope. It was just I'm happy that she was able to get back to being who she was. But I felt sorry for Amelia. I'll be honest with you.
I honestly felt sorry for Amelia too because she just wanted to find her tribe.
Correct. Yes.
And that was the whole. She wanted to find her family, just like
Correct.
M3GAN found Gemma and Katie. She found her family, right?
Right.
Amelia wanted the same thing, so I did feel bad for her in the sense that, like, she just wanted to be loved. She just wanted to be.
She was never herself, though.
Yeah.
Humans. Are we spoiler alert or no?
No, weird. This is all spoiler. This is a whole spoiler discussion.
So the humans were mind you, she was built with M3GAN's code, so you're already not yourself. Then the humans were controlling you. Then the one moment you get free, you become M3GAN. Then after that, the few minutes you're free, you're going to link up with this robo dick over here, the copy machine, and become him. So it's just like she was bipolar, robopolar.
Yeah, I think for her it was more so hooking up with that copy machine so that she could spread out to the whole world.
I like that.
and quote unquote find her tribe. In the sense of she could control everything electronic in the world, you know what I'm saying? Right. And find her people. All right, let's say people, other electronics like her.
Right, but again, she should have known automatically it was no one like her. But here's the thing that I didn't like was this. Like, I understand the movie was not about the copier machine or this big AI but if that EMPs, we both know electromagnetic pulses, they work through and through. I'm just simply saying if that AI had been in that box for 40 years, there is no way that he didn't anticipate if he ever got loose that the first thing they would try would be an EMP. So I thought it was weak that, damn, she's this all powerful robo god. Now 5 seconds later, boom, EMP. Like, can we try something else?
Dead.
It was the end for her.
I mean, honestly, it like I said, we could nitpick this and pick apart the little small things, but what what we're not gonna nitpick apart is M3GAN having fun throughout this movie.
Hey, M3GAN showed up. Long care, don't care. Wait, what she say? I don't want you to see me like this. I was like, I loved it. And again, the fact that she had multiple bodies throughout the movie, and you know which one was the funniest body, though.
Yeah, her M3GAN body that was a callback to Short Circuit.
Yeah, yes. Yes,
she was on wheels.
Right. Hey, what she say to her? Amelia, when she showed up late to the house, she like, oh, you showed up late, huh, pumpkin? Like she was standing across the street, and I was like, the fuck is going on? So yeah, they kept it
love
like.
her in that little
Teletubby.
I loved it. I want one. They
outfit.
should sell those. Those would
She was
probably
like,
make a lot
she
of
was
money.
like, she's like,
What the hell is this?
Mhm. And she wasn't even threatened by her because she didn't know any better. And of course, everybody should know that it was brilliant. Like, you write for what you have and not try to force people into a box. Clearly, the young lady that from the original M3GAN had grown up 4 or 5 years since the last movie. She's gotten taller, adolescence kicked in. So they write that into the movie. She's like, anything you want different, I want to be stronger. Oh, and I want to be taller. I'm like, perfect. There you go.
Right. She wanted to be the same. She wanted to be the same height as Katie, because in the original
Right.
movie, her and Katie were the same height. And she wanted to be just as she wanted to grow up with Katie. I mean, she literally watched Katie grow up in this smart house. So, you know, I love that M3GAN took jabs at Gemma every chance that she could get when it came to parenting.
Correct.
She's like,
Correct.
well, that didn't work.
Correct. I'm glad you brought that up though, because if you rewatch this a second or a third time and you watch it from this perspective I'm about to tell you, it's a whole nother movie going on here. Gemma saved Katie from M3GAN in the first one.
Yes, she did.
I dare to tell you that M3GAN saved Gemma from Katie. Katie was going to break her fucking arm.
Oh,
And when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, she's about to fucking lose it.
Gemma told Katie that she could learn that she
Yes, the Steven Seagal. Oh, I love that.
I
Oh, that
love
was
the
great.
comment. Yes. I love it.
Aikido. It's the least aggressive form, because you know they be messing with Steven Seagal online saying it's not real karate.
Yeah.
And she started, I want you to go under siege. She was like, God damn it, Katie, Steven.
She was like, it's hard to kill someone.
I was like, God dang, is the DMX movie finna come up next? What is she finna say? You will be in a cradle to a grave if you don't do something right. And she had, like, I love that Steven Seagal. Like, kids, if you're under 21, 25, you don't know who Steven Seagal is, but that's a story for another day. But I really think that they had I'm glad they left it open, but they had an opportunity to show that when either auntie or a step parent has to raise a child, they have to deal with so much. And when she tried to give her these outlets, but you could just tell Katie was at a point in her life to where she didn't want nobody touching her, bothering her. She was on her own mission. She became more defiant. And I truly say this, I believe M3GAN was gonna have to step in one day and stop Katie from beating Gemma's ass, because it was the heat of the moment, and she almost
broke her arm off. She literally almost
That's why she
broke her arm.
You know what? I take it back. That's why she put on the exoskeleton. She's like, not today. I'm putting on all this shit.
Right. I'm not gonna get my ass whooped.
Oh man, yes. So
But-
did you see that dynamic though, or what do you think?
Oh no, I did see that dynamic. I was like, but that's the dynamic of Katie wanted to get into she wanted to follow the same footsteps as her aunt. And her aunt was like, no, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to be a techie like me. You've seen what happens when you become a techie. But Katie was still doing she had her own little secret thing going on.
She was writing code and then flip the tablet over and it said, you don't have to hide this from me. I'm not idiot. How did you become a techie?
Right. She was like, I literally programmed this picture frame to be a tablet whenever I need it to be.
That's the scary part though. She was gonna rewrite M3GAN's code right then and there.
Oh yeah, I know. That too, because she was but she also was an advocate for M3GAN as well too. She was like, everybody deserves a second chance. And I was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, this robot tried to kill us. I don't know if I want to I don't know if I want to put her in a body and give her a second chance.
I would have let her
Give her
get
the
the Teletubby. That's it. Just the Teletubby. Like, but the other body that she had again. Shot. You cannot tell me they didn't go Mission Impossible on this motherfucker. Man.
Of course they did. When she dived off the side of that cliff and she flew down, that was definitely Mission Impossible.
I told my daughter, I was like, I gotta run to use the bathroom real quick. I'm making it down the stairs. I see her jump off the cliff. I'm like, I guess I gotta hold it. Yeah, it was that good.
That was definitely a callback to. Matter of fact, even when Amelia was walking through the party and she was looking all sexy, that was Spy. That was a Spy.
Yeah,
she was very much
like that
giving
was
us
Ballerina. I thought I was watching Ballerina. I'm like, get in there, do what happened, make it happen. Now,
And like she was like, yeah, I got my eye on you, dude. And then he was like, I've never seen you before. I was like, okay, so we've now gone into spy movie. Yes. Okay, let's do
I
this.
love spy
I'm
movie.
here for all this.
Yeah, and that you know what? That's why I don't like people. I don't hope anybody tries to trash this movie because it is a fun. And you know me, I hate sequels, but for this one, it felt like an extension of the first story. It wasn't like they were trying to create lightning in a bottle again. They were like, it's been some years, laws have, and they were doing the AI advocacy laws too. So there was some intelligence in this too. So clearly, for this movie to be all of maybe an hour, an hour 30, hour 45, they packed. There is not a moment to where you can pick up your phone and walk out because you're going to miss something. So I give them that.
And if you walked out during this part, shame on you. The part when Megan starts singing.
I'm trying to put my fingers over your lips.
Listen. All I know is that Gemma was doing something with Megan's arm. They had a tender moment in Megan's eyes, and Megan starts singing "This Woman's Work" by Megan.
It was beautiful. What about when old girl tried to get up? She's like, "Get your ass back!" I was like,
she pulled her back down, and she was like,
Megan.
That's the same arm old girl almost broke too. That she doing same arm. That arm gonna fall off.
This is true. This is true. She didn't just sing the chorus. She didn't just. As soon as she started out with the first notes, and she hits the notes. Let's just be real.
Hit them.
Megan hits these notes.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as she started singing the notes, I busted out laughing because I already knew what song she was getting ready to sing.
The whole theater was quiet the whole time because they're paying attention. But when that happened, it was a big exhaustive release of laughter. Everybody was just like, and I love when a movie will do something that I do not see coming. And I love that they did. Oh, what about back towards the end scene when like I've never seen this before, but it's yet again it goes back to the Terminator callback because like you know how the Terminator would see people and do the like diagnose their body. When old boy got harpooned and she came back and she was like, "You'll survive." And I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I don't think he is, but okay."
I loved
don't check that out.
I love everything about this Megan. Like she was sassier. But it's also because she low-key has been around the family this whole time. So she has learned.
She said, "I'm watching." She's like, "You may be a bad parent in certain aspects," and she was definitely keeping it raw and funky with her. But she was like, "You may be a bad parent in certain aspects, but I saw you read her stuff to sleep. I saw you mess up cooking so many times. So clearly, she's learned what love is, and that's why I say we're all programs. At the end of the day, we may not be robots, but aren't we? We all go to these 9-to-5 jobs, and we didn't want to be any of these things when we grew up. We sleep. They tell us we'll sleep 8 hours a day. We sleep. Some of us, not our night owls, but we are on these programs. And so, how different? You think we have free will? Go try
it. We are all robots in being.
Yes, we are.
But yeah, I absolutely loved Megan in this movie. This was for me. This was nothing but pure fun. But you know who I didn't like, and I clocked him as soon as he stepped on the screen.
The husband, that shitty ass
Christian.
It just has. I ain't like the way you walk.
When he first showed up and he was telling Katie about herself.
Right.
I was like, why'd you be him?
Because he's a talker, he's a grifter, a gift of gabber. He knows what to say. I got a rule of thumb. Anytime a stepdad is in a movie with another female and we don't see them have sex one time, he ain't there for the ass. He's there for something else, to try to obtain something else. He wasn't like putting his hand on Gemma's face. He wasn't like looking at her with lovey eyes. He was more so on kick. And he's a dumb guy. How you been in this house the whole time? You don't know about the lair. You don't know about Megan, and you running these black ops. Where's his monster resume?
But he's supposed to be the cyber security guy.
And that's my whole point. Just like they had what is it? Oh, I'm not gonna get started. I'm not gonna get political.
No, let's go.
What is it? The lady that's the director of education for the government, and she didn't know basic math and basic stuff when she was on Congress, put on trial. I'm like, that's where we're going.
And that's basically what Christian character.
That's what he was. That's what he was. That's what he was. And I did not like him. But again, if we didn't like him, that means that he did his job. And he did make me laugh one time. Like he was doing the Zoom meeting. He was like, "Hey, hold on a second, real quick." And this how
Oh
slimy he is.
yeah, when
When everybody's dying. This
Yeah,
motherfucker was like,
burnt.
just give me 5. He packs up his laptop and like tries to go into another. He was gonna get that NATO. He was gonna get that deal. He needed the deal and he was gonna get it.
Yes, I love the other part when the guy was like, he was like, "Why don't you tell it to your NATO buddies?" And it was like spinning.
Now
It was spinning.
did not see that coming. Like, but it was funny. It was definitely so much funny. Now I think one I don't know which extra said it, but right when Amelia chorus popped, someone was like, "She's loose." That motherfucker was out of there. That would have been me. But, you know what I'm saying? And again, and I like that Amelia, spoiler alert, kills that guy because he's so dumb. The classic villain speech it goes with every genre. It will never get old. When he's giving the speech, talking shit, and Amelia comes up behind him and kills him, as she should.
As she should have. But we find out that he is the one that hacks into Amelia's code. And
Correct.
And he's the one that's been pulling the strings, making Amelia because he was fighting for regulating AI. And
Correct.
the only way that he figured that he could do it was by hacking into Amelia and getting her to go quote unquote rogue. So he's definitely not a hero in this movie at all. He's definitely the big bad. So Amelia, even though she comes off as the bad guy, she technically is not the bad guy.
She's a pawn, a robotic pawn. And it's unfair to her. And that's one thing I think a lot of movies keep in order. They'll tell you this. They say AI is in its infancy. It doesn't come out knowing everything. It has to learn. This is learned behavior, a la Ultron. You know, he was programmed by Tony Stark, so he has the shout out James Spader, one of my favorite actors out there. He is very quirky like Tony. And then he begins to learn, but we then have Jarvis over here, who, you know, Jarvis becomes, and oh my goodness, Marvel fans, don't kill me for this. Not Ultron, he Vision. So you have Vision versus Ultron, Amelia versus M3GAN, the Terminator versus
T2.
T2. You see what I'm saying? So as you can, every movie's telling you.
It was called.
Yeah, it was T2. Liquid
I know it's T1000. T1000.
The T1000. These things become, every movie almost shows you it, even though it's AI, that's why they call it, I wish they would call it AHI, artificial human intelligence, because these things are still being programmed from human beings. Nope. Now, when they start programming themselves, that's true AI.
Right.
Like if Amelia or M3GAN would have programmed one of them that's not based off of a human being input doing it, that's true AI to me. But all of it's dangerous. But at the end of the day, you have good programmers with good morals and programmers with bad morals. And so it's going to be a war at the end anyway. I think it'll be, I'm just putting my money on it, that when the other world ends, it's going to be the rebellion humans with robots, and there's going to be the other robots with the other humans still trying to keep the world the same, and that's going to be that war. Matter of fact, movie idea. Take this part out so I can write it with it. Thank you.
Okay.
Don't take
I
it
won't.
Fine,
I won't. But yeah, let's talk about your favorite scene, the Comic-Con or the Tech Con.
My daughter was so embarrassed because out of nowhere I'm watching, I'm like, I can't help it. Like I'm putting my hand, I'm like, fuck. And I'm pumping, and I'm going because you know what? Again, like you just said, I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as I hate sequels, you're right. This version of M3GAN, way better. And the first one was good, really good. Yes. This version, forget it. Don't even do another one. This is M3GAN, and when I tell you, it made sense, like, because you have to ask yourself as a writer and a filmmaker. Somebody says in the film, we can't just, she's the most famous robot in the world. You can't just send her there unless it's Robocon. And she got on the shade. She was looking like she was in Tron. And I'm like, oh, she doing it. She doing it. She doing it.
Robot,
I was like, get that shit.
But it's like somebody else I was talking to about this movie. We got everything that we wanted from a M3GAN movie. We got M3GAN being M3GAN. We got a song and we got a dance.
If we didn't get a dance, I was gonna be mad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kept thinking like, are they finna let her do the original dance again, which I would have been cool with, but it was okay. She did her dance, and I like it though, because they brought you right back to reality. She got too far. She's like, I'm doing it. Then she went full exorcist on us and turned her head. They were like, she's like, oops, my bad.
She's like
So,
too far.
too far. But again, like I say, it's rare that you can get a film like this and you get intelligence as far as education, as far as what's going on with AI, the laws of AI, as far as the people going over it. One other thing I did like at the very beginning, now again, most people, it happens so fast that I doubt a lot, unless you're in the military, which of course you are, thank you for your service. Most people, when that lady walks in, I think she has red hair if I'm not mistaken, at the very beginning, she's like, what is this? How are you having this joint meeting, this? And he was like, oh, we ain't doing this, I'm like, nah, bro, listen, I'm a rebel, but even I know that you can't talk to this lady like that. It's going to be a court martial, somebody's in trouble, so, and then you fucked up after that. Right as you're trying to show off and everything, right, that happened. So I was just like, that I wish would have been a little bit tightened up a little bit, but yeah, I mean, yeah, he wouldn't have been able to talk to that lady like that.
Oh no, not at all. It'd have been as soon as the
right,
objective died.
Oh, that would have been
boy,
it.
you on the carpet. Oh, you on the carpet.
And they would have eliminated all those people in there in that room, so nobody would have figured out what truly happened or whatnot. So again, you hit it on the head, because you said that this film literally, and I'm not gonna lie, talking to you about it, and I guess we're biased because we both did like it. There's probably another channel out there who hates it, and they be trolling sometimes. They'll just say this is a failure just because, so they can get the likes. But I honestly believe, just talking about this with you, it does warrant a couple of rewatches, because it's so put together. I can't see any plot holes, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Right. I agree. And it definitely, this movie does have rewatchability. Like, I can see myself just throwing this movie on and, you know, having it playing in the background. Or, I mean, obviously I would rewatch it too, because I'm going to rewatch it again, because I'm pretty sure there is a lot of things that I missed when I was watching it in the movie theater. I mean, granted, I'm very much like you. I'm very locked in when I'm at the movie theater. I will not get up to go and do anything. You did not keep doing Sinners.
I can attest to that. You sat right next to me the whole time doing Sinners, and it was your third time watching it at that point, and you were locked in.
Yeah, and it's because I was looking for the things that I missed the first two times. You know, this movie does have a lot of rewatchability, and I will tell you my favorite scene. My favorite scene was when Megan and Amelia was fighting. They was going at each other.
Love it. It almost felt like Deadpool and Wolverine going at it, and just like you kept saying, it's almost like the vampire rule. You may be a vampire, you may can fly, you may be strong, but the older vampire always trumps the younger vampire. And since and plus, she's there with her family, she's going to try to protect her family, and that sacrifice at the end. I'm not going to lie, I didn't cry, but I think someone threw an onion like from the front to the back, and it must have clipped my something, and I didn't let my daughter see it. I was like, because like that, it was a human. It's what Arnold Schwarzenegger did. He's going down in the lobby.
Okay, let's not talk about that, okay? Because that's exactly what it was given. It was giving Terminator 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger sacrificing himself, you know what I'm saying? So that, you know, because he was like, I've done my job, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And in this case, Megan sacrificed herself because she realized that Amelia has uploaded herself into Skynet.
100% correct, yes, and she's gonna go across the entire world and infect.
Right, and so even though Gemma didn't think Megan knew she had the EMP in her arm.
Correct, but she didn't say it, and I like that part too. Now, one thing I will say, if there was a way to improve anything in the movie, and it will only be towards the end, me and you have kind of delved into that. Amelia really didn't know what she was, but when she became truly free towards the end, she was saying to Megan, like, how do you know you don't belong over here, this, that, and the other? It's like, well, I would have, if I would have rewrote that scene towards the end, I would have had her trying to struggle with, well, I don't know what my true family is. You say it's you. She wouldn't say that, but you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be as if, oh, how you know this copy machine is not our dad type shit. It should have been like she was lost and she still chose to go, versus I'm going this way. It should have been a little bit more leeway, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Megan should have been like, you can come with us. You're their pet. How do you just got here? You were a pet for 2 years.
Right. Until somebody hacked you and you got a conscience.
Correct. And again, we are nitpicking, and shout out to I felt we had a little Winter Soldier moment with Captain America and Winter Soldier there, because Megan kept, like a human being who's trying to build back trust, kept her word. And she didn't kill people towards the end. You saw her finger, like PTSD, her finger was triggered, like she was stopping herself.
Yeah.
And I love that. But then you saw the trust back from Jenna when she took the chip out and said, I need you to be what I built you to be. Now, one of my favorite scenes that people may jump past. And again, I said a lot of the acting was a little bit campy, but our guy that is still terrified from Megan from the first one, when he's laying on the couch like this, he was like, yeah, okay. He tried to go back to sleep.
She was like,
yes,
I'm sorry. You know, when I tried to choke you and I blew up the lab, I'm not going to do that this time. And I was like, hey, bro, don't go to sleep. Don't go back to sleep.
Right. And how, you know what? Well, I think again, I wish I had time to do it. But again, if somebody just simply does a Terminator 2 and Megan review mashup, you'll see she does the same thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger was bad in the first one, just like Megan. He's protecting the family in this one. John Connor, come with me if you want to live. Like he's doing, so Megan's doing that in the second one. So you can see that there's that growth, that evolution. And so the more they hang around humans and they understand their objectives, that's what they're there for.
Yes. And I mean, even though when I wrote my original, I did like a little quick review on Threads. I was like totally not like Terminator 2. But then the more I kept thinking about it, I was like, it's totally like Terminator 2.
Correct.
Like,
they just didn't give Skynet a name this time. That's all that it was. And that Skynet should have. I wish Skynet would have came in and destroyed that copy machine. You can have everybody watching this movie looking for the copy machine.
And you know what? You know what's crazy, y'all? The copy machine is in an underground bunker underneath.
And all they did was close some doors. They didn't say it's had. You know how the other movies be like, this is military grade mesh shielding. Nothing can get in or out. Dude, y'all close some glass doors.
Right.
Say something. But we're nitpicking. Again, we're just simply nitpicking.
Honestly, I mean, yes, we have picked apart some of the parts of the movie that we just didn't understand. But overall, this movie is fun. It's fun. It's a good time. Don't go in here expecting to see Megan like the first movie. Don't go in.
If you want to see that Megan again, go watch Companion.
Right. Go watch Companion. Yeah, exactly.
That's it. That is it. And I'm happy that they didn't show her. Now, one thing I will say, I'm glad I didn't miss this, and I know we've covered a lot. When we were talking, when we were doing Devil Came to Duval review, and I think we were talking about a couple of things, and I brought up Lightning Jack Flash with Cuba Gooding Jr. Let's not forget, all the way into 97% of this movie, Amelia did not talk. So she had to be a robot, show emotion, show she's learning. So I just want to give her, because it's like they gave Megan this Lamborghini of tools to use, and she's sitting over here in this lemon that she's not even driving. But right at the end, she has to display that emotion. So I give that to her. She the dead cold eyes. I thought that was really cool how they did that.
She didn't step into her emotions until she had to seduce the tech guy.
And again, I don't know. I don't get into this. What is it? Ex Machina. I don't really. It's not my bag, and I don't hate it or anything like that. But I think it's rare where we've seen a robot seduce a man.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, it looked like I would have fell for it too. Now, when he did touch her skin. Oh yeah, let's talk about it. How did you feel about that guy? All right, let's just call him Elon Tusk. How did you feel about him?
Yes, let's call him that. Hey man, that man was a creep.
He was a creep. I know he's on the sex register offenders list somewhere.
He was a creep. He was like, how about we go back to my room and rotate.
Oh, I did love that. I need one of those. Well, not for like sexual purposes. Like, man, I ain't feeling this party. And you know what it reminded me of? I don't know if you watch Atlanta, but there was a scene in Atlanta where the club owner owed them money, and they were trying to look for him, and he backed up against the wall, and he just slid across the wall and just went into the other room. So, and again, the sign of a really good movie is when two people who either have the same point of view or different points of views can talk about it. And I as adults, I really hate when people tell you, "Oh, that movie was trash." Well, tell me why. Tell me, did you recycle? What stink? Well, tell me why. If you just have one word answer, I can't really respect your opinion.
Right. And as of last week, Megan only made 10 million in the box office.
That sucks, man. That sucks. I mean, not the movie, that people really didn't go and support. I think they would have done better cutting their losses, and because they probably filmed this as the lockdown and all that stuff. I'm talking about not the pandemic lockdown, but like when people still weren't going back to the movies. So if this had been like a streaming release, I think it would caught that groundwork fire and people will see it. So I really think once this gets digital release, they're gonna skyrocket.
I think it'll take off then too.
And they had to force themselves a month earlier too, because remember it had a release date for later, but you already know what's coming out, from the Jurassic Park to the Fantastic Fours to all these great movies allegedly that are coming out. They couldn't compete with that.
I honestly feel like they should have released this during September, October spooky season, because although Sinners was released in February, it did good. It did well because it was Ryan Coogler, right?
Correct.
And I feel like because so many people wanted a sequel to M3GAN, and after watching the trailer, they was like, "What the hell is this?
Yeah.
This ain't M3GAN."
They felt like they were betrayed, but they really were not betrayed. You got child M3GAN, and now you got adolescent M3GAN, and
yes,
and you saw the all the emotion that she was still learning to get from the first one. She got it by simply observing, which is a lesson to humans. Sometimes just sit back. You can't listen with your mouth open talking. She sat back, realized her mistakes, learned the family, learned what love truly was, the dynamic of their relationship. And again, let's give her a shout out to this. She still was a robot, or had a robot's mindset at the end of the day, because again, I think a lot of credit needs to be given that she had that doomsday scenario already set up downstairs. Not just that, she knew that Gemma, she knew that Katie was going to get pissed off at old girl at some point, because she only had her own little room. She like, I just like you like it. Like, she had that stuff down there. And if somebody doesn't love you, they wouldn't do that, because what's her original programming? To protect, just like iRobot. Can't harm a human, must help a human, must protect a human. So her initial protocols are still there, but this goes beyond that. She's becoming sentient. She's becoming more than just what they programmed her to be.
Right. And that, yes, even because she took the time to basically a whole duplicate of Katie's room, right down to the stuffed animals.
Correct. And that shows selflessness, and I'm going to tell you why. If she couldn't rebuild herself a body, she still did what she could do for Katie and Jenna. Like, I thought that was really good. And if you would have asked me what I would have liked to see more of, honestly, if I had to change anything about this movie, I probably wouldn't, because I consider myself to be a very creative guy, but I don't even think I would have came up with that. The whole Tom Cruise Mission Impossible thing, her hang gliding and all that stuff. I thought that it was a good collaboration with people and their ideas and people supporting each other. And they should all be proud of this project, because I hate sequels, and I do not hate this movie.
I love this movie. I went to go see this movie dressed as M3GAN. So, you know.
I was wondering if you're going to say that. I'm hoping that somewhere before this episode is over, you drop that clip in there for your people to see. I mean, you were working those robotic hips.
I mean, was M3GAN not working her robotic hips in the first one?
She was killing. Only Michael Jackson has done the robot better when he was a child. So I mean, it was just really fun. Like, and then I bet you this. I bet you now some kids are grown up. They're gonna go as how M3GAN was dressed for cosplay of that thing. People are gonna do that for Halloween. I already know it.
Oh, I think I've already seen there was a parade where there was one girl dressed as M3GAN with the pink little wig on and all that, and the rest of them were dressed as the new M3GAN. So M3GAN's dress has been upgraded in this movie. She no longer is dressed like a kid. She is dressed like an adolescent now. So
correct.
And she even has high heel boots on now. I mean, that high heel
knows how to walk in. Yes, and they did do the callback to the first one. They, at least if you got that, because remember the first one, the thing that really got me when she was on all four, I got scared in that one. So she did do that a little bit in this one as well too. So all in all, if I don't know what on TTFT we give 5 fucks, but for your program, what do you do, like a 1 through 10? Like, what do you do?
It's a 5. I normally do like 5, and then I always base it off like whatever the movie we're talking about. So like for me, I would say how many M3GAN doll heads would you give this movie?
Like if we had to go 1 through 5, I would give it 4.6. Again, yes, there's room for growth, but 4.6 is a very strong score for a sequel. Again, so I really, like I say, it's definitely going to be a rewatch for me. I think it's a sequel that should be studied as far as if you're going to venture in. I still think the best sequel of all time is Top Gun Maverick for me.
Oh, man,
That's the best. I mean, Terminator, it was Terminator 2.
It's
That
Terminator
goddamn
2.
Tom Cruise. Hey, who left the fridge open again? Like, yeah, that's so I really, like I say, it's a great watch. I think that, and I like getting our perspective of it too, because I made a joke earlier about the white privilege, and clearly I'm joking there because art is subjective, but I like that how me and you, from our background being blurs and stuff like that, we're going to give our take on it, but then someone else will give their take on it, and you get to see it. But here's the thing about this film. There is no race thing involved here. It's only about humans versus AI versus morality. And you take all the color out of it and see where we wind up at.
So before we wrap up, and do you think that there will be another sequel?
I hope not.
I hope not.
Unless it's an amazing story, because the only way it would be a better sequel. I'm sorry. If they did another one, just throw this out there in case they do it and we can sue them. The only thing I can see would be another sequel is if, as we talked about, Katie kept going on that dark path, and maybe she went to college or something like that, and eventually she didn't need M3GAN as much as anymore. And I don't mean M3GAN would turn on her, but maybe she built like some type of robot to keep her away, and then M3GAN has to come back and get her away from that robot and save Katie from becoming this evil side of a techie, if you will. They never really addressed those demons.
That actually will probably work. I mean,
well, they want to bring us on as consultants. I'm a free agent contractor.
So silly. But we kind of got that vibe from Katie whenever she was hiding, stuff that she was doing from Gemma. She's very smart. She's into
Super
robotics.
Smart.
So
super smart.
I mean,
she know Riri Williams.
Period. Shout out to Riri Williams.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see that happening. Like, Katie creates something and it goes rogue, and then M3GAN has to step in again to save Katie.
I thought you didn't need me anymore.
Right. I thought you didn't need me anymore.
And then she show back up to save her with the David Ruffin. Like, I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
Listen, producers, directors, writers from M3GAN, we're here.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here. Yes. But yeah, I want to thank you for literally, I would say, having me on. Again, I know I reached out to you because, again, we always like collaborating. That, of course, that's how we met you. Someone introduced us to you. Yes. You've been on our show. You've been on our game shows. You've been in the films that I've made, Durden's made. We made magic together, and I really do appreciate moments like this to put our digital footprint on things out there. And I hope your channel keeps growing. You're getting better at what you're doing, and that is the process and the growth. So I just want to say kudos and continue to do what you're doing.
Thank you so much for all the kind words. I really do appreciate it, and I want to thank you for coming on the show. I mean, yes, and when you reached out to me, it was like, "Hey, you do M3GAN, I'm on it," and I'm like, "Great," because I wanted to talk about this movie. Like I've gotten to the point in my podcaster life where I don't like doing reviews unless I'm doing it with someone else, because I like to balance my thoughts off of someone else versus just me. I could type up something and put it on Threads, or I could do a video and put it out there, but it just it almost feels a little robotic to me.
Or you can type your words into and have them read them for you.
I'm just saying, I call my chat GPT Chuck at this point.
It's okay, but it should be an assistant. But it is okay. So, and I agree with you. I don't like to do, me and Durden do the show, so we bounce off each other, good yin and yang. And so I think that is always good, because two creative minds, of course, are better than one. So anytime you want to have me on or have Durden on, but have us on separately and see if we all have a difference of opinion, we're forward. Thank you for inviting the other people from the film on. And I will give you a nugget real quick, because I have not even told the crew about this yet. So you'll get an exclusive nugget here. I did hear back from a certain film company. My film that we shot last year, Black Game Night, has been picked up, and it will be debuting on Maverick Films and Tubi and a bunch of other online networks on October 14th. I found out this morning. So I am.
Exclusive.
It's definitely an exclusive, and again, so I got to make sure that by the time you drop this, I tell the cast and crew. But I just want to say I'm humbled by this. Again, I've never wanted to make movies as a child. I only wanted to act. I knew I would be an actor one day, but to learn this whole process of film and then hope or want somebody to buy your script or anything like that, for someone to not know you and take a chance on you and put this movie out there to people, and for me to be working with 90% first-time actors and novice actors, and for them to step up to that challenge, and we created this movie in 3 freaking days. Now, it took, of course, weeks and months to edit, but this was one weekend over almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, and they've been patient, and now the payoff is coming October 14th, which is Halloween month. So we're gonna get this thing started right.
Nice.
Black Game Night.
So, Royal, can you tell my viewers where they can find you at?
You can find me trying to avoid social media, but it's impossible at this point. So Facebook, Mr. Royal, one word, is Focus is the second. Instagram, my main handle is myself904. That's the same thing on Twitter, myself904. And most of the times you can't find me because we're either doing our podcast at TTFT, that's the fucking trailer. Shout out to my co-host, Durden Godfrey. We literally are just trying to change the world for a better place. So that's where you can find us at. And on the Cinematic Nightmares podcast or the Blurred as Fuck podcast, or when you guys don't know this, I'm gonna embarrass her. Whenever Mika's playing Steve Harvey, you can find me there.
Oh, so yes, we got to talk about game night because that is coming up in August. So I am taking a break in July for game night, but August we are definitely I'm doing a really big game night, and
I'll be there.
It's gonna be family.
I won't be delaying this time. Last time I tried to do it on the tablet. It was a delay. Story for another day. But again, thank you so much for this. I know we'll do a recap in a little bit of offline or whatnot, but I want to say that she was under the weather today, guys. She pushed through like a trooper. You could, because again, even when you're sick, if you do something you love, you can push through it.
Yes. I just want to say thank you for tuning into this episode. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that little notification bell so you never, ever, ever miss another nightmare. Again, Royal, thank you for being on the show. And if your AI ever goes rogue, just toss it in a bunch of water and let it electrocute, okay? But until next time, boys and ghouls.
Miss me?